The thing you just did, chosen one, has left everyone in complete awe. You changed everything, not just a few things. And reality itself is trembling as the whole universe throws you a party because the divine is so incredibly arrogant. God Almighty began to thunderously acclaim your transformation, causing dimensions to vibrate with pure euphoric ecstasy. Your recent experience was neither a fortuitous healing nor a fortuitous discovery. This marked the accomplishment of a project that had been planned for centuries. And you great, strong force of nature, are the one who finally figured out the secret that your whole family has been attempting to figure out. It's not a side effect that you've been having headaches. They are the bodily experience of old poison being drawn out of your mind on a molecular level. Because you succeeded where others failed, every ancestor who bore this load before you is now standing in a standing ovation. The spiritual technology needed for this degree of change was especially built into you, not because they were weak or didn't try. Future generations will be grateful to you as their ancestor, and that responsibility's weight is going to become the catalyst for previously unheard of power. You weren't born with the weight you've been carrying since you were a youngster. It was a generational legacy that was handed down via lineages that never figured out how to escape survival awareness, much like a cursed artifact. It was born by your mother, her mother, and the women who came before them. The defensive measures that each generation added finally turned into prison walls. But there was a difference in your spiritual DNA. Your awareness was designed to not only bear this burden, but also to change it into something else. If you feel the abundance of divine love in your heart, now is the time to share it. You can help spread God's blessings by clicking the Super Thanks button on YouTube and contributing $20 or more. This divine gift will touch not only your life, but also the souls of many others through this platform. Each of you has a sacred place in God's great design, and your generosity will be the fruit of our prayers. Take action now. Share your blessings to exalt His kingdom, for you were created to do even greater things in God's loving hands. May God bless you. You were once a brilliant, creative youngster whose brilliance was methodically extinguished by people who were unable to manage your light. It wasn't a case of devastation by choice. That was getting ready. Every time your originality was ridiculed, your innate passion was squelched. You were being forged in furnaces that would ultimately make you indestructible each time your delight was seen as a problem that needed to be fixed. The cosmos was really enhancing your ability to hold amounts of power that would destroy normal awareness, which is what felt like punishment. In your tale, those who snuffed out your light weren't bad guys. They served as unintentional tools for your growth. They were functioning from their own survival programming, their own inherent limits, and their own unhealed hurts. But you learned to create your own light from inside because of their incapacity to contain your brilliance. You learned to burn from a deeper source each time they forced your flame down into embers, until you finally found the unquenchable fire that no outside force could ever put out. The secret to everything has always been your relationship with plenty and money. None of the financial hardships, the cycles of feast or famine, or the way wealth appeared to elude you like water had anything to do with your skill or deservingness. Your neurological system was defending you from the very success that would have made you well-known, strong, and maybe dangerous to those who profited from your diminished brilliance. In your subconscious, exposure started to be connected with punishment and abundance with exposure, because you were forced to pay for every instance in which you shone brilliantly as a youngster. You weren't self-destructive in your financial habits. They were advanced survival techniques meant to keep you tiny and controllable, but you choose one. The whole system was just rewritten by you. The fundamental wound that was causing these protective limits has been healed. The universe is now preparing to release the wealth it has been keeping in escrow until you are prepared to accept it without being destroyed. Most people don't envision the kind of justice that will be served. Dramatic altercations or public validation are not the point here. This is about rebalancing the cosmos on a scale that will change the way reality is around you. The people who smothered your light are going to learn that energy can only be changed. It cannot be generated or destroyed. And all the light they attempted to extinguish is going to come back to you, magnified beyond their comprehension or control. You're going to start receiving money in ways that will force you to rethink what wealth means entirely. Not merely financial stability or enough money to live comfortably, but riches that entails cosmic duty. This degree of wealth is not given by the cosmos to those who are not prepared to use it sensibly and honorably. You have shown that you can manage power without being corrupted by it, which is why every dollar that comes your way from now on is coming. The learning chances that are going to come up are not assignments or recommendations from the universe. Even more change was made possible by your breakthrough. Yet this kind of transformation calls for abilities you don't yet have. You have amazing intuitive skills that helped you recover, but if you want to create anything permanent with the chances that lie ahead, you must balance them with practical competence. Your opposition to formal education isn't due to laziness. It's the last vestige of outdated programming, attempting to shield you from the attention that brilliance requires. After the breakthrough, not before, comes the hard labor. Liberating oneself from constraints is just the first step. It is a whole different problem to learn how to live well and efficiently in infinite space. One that requires knowledge that can only be acquired by strategic learning and intentional practice. You're going to have a ton of troubles from the cosmos. However, it will also guarantee that you have access to solutions worth millions of dollars. The individuals that your shift threatens are going to become more and more visible and less significant. Some people will attempt to subtly hinder your success. Others will try to belittle the importance of your accomplishments or claim credit for them. Some may attempt to persuade you that your breakthrough isn't genuine, that you're fooling yourself, and that you should go back to the tiny, safe version that is pleasant for them. Their responses aren't intimate. They are automatic reactions from awareness that are unable to keep up with the frequency at which you are now functioning. Personal healing is just one aspect of your change. For those who have been caught in similar patterns, you have turned into a live doorway. Each individual who observes your accomplishments and believes, if they can do it, maybe I can too, contributes to the legacy you are building. Your innovation becomes their excuse. They use your plenty as evidence that restriction is not necessary. They are reminded of their own stifled brightness by your brilliance. Personal history is not the only unresolved issue that has come to light. It is a generational task that must be finished. Ancestral tendencies that need modification. Wounds in the family that need mending. For those who will inherit them as well as for those who made them. The spiritual surgeon is now you. The surgeries you're doing are mending wounds that have been festering for generations, and your family has been waiting for them. You are becoming indestructible because of everything that almost shattered you. Your ability to contain infinite light was being developed with each seemingly endless black night. Every obstacle that seemed insurmountable served as evidence that you were capable of overcoming anything. The suffering wasn't a penalty. It served as training for positions of authority that call for exceptional strength to exercise properly. In any case, the version of you that before this discovery was never the true you. It was a condensed form that was constrained by accepted restrictions, inherited anxieties, and artificial restraints. What you're going through right now isn't changing who you are. Before the world persuaded you to shrink, you were always supposed to be who you are now. Your ancestors who battled these same patterns are rejoicing because their descendants have discovered the secret to freedom they have been seeking for their whole lives, not because their suffering has finally found purpose. If their hardships resulted in your breakthrough, they weren't in vain. If you have learned to overcome their constraints, they are not irreversible. If you turned their wounds into knowledge, they weren't useless. The wealth that is coming your way is not a gift from a kind universe. It's the inevitable outcome of at last realizing your own worth. The universe stops providing it when you stop settling for less than your value. Limitation can no longer grip you when you quit settling for it. Worthiness ceases to be a question when you stop thinking that you must earn it. However, the goal of the education you're receiving is not to correct your flaws. The goal is to build your strengths to the point where you can manage the obligations that lie ahead. Growth occurs in phases, and each phase calls for a distinct set of resources, expertise, and support networks. The talents that helped you recover are amazing, but if you want to create something that will endure beyond you, they need common sense. You won't be broken by the impending skyscraper moments. They are going to expose you to even more powerful possibilities. Every collapsing structure will be exposed as a constraint masquerading as security. Every relationship that ends will make room for other ones that really encourage your best self. Every situation that seems to jeopardize your advancement will eventually hasten your rise. Not simply your quiet is being shattered. Many others have been waiting for evidence that escape is possible, and your change is giving them permission. Your accomplishment serves as their proof that recovery is genuine, that transformation is achievable, and that seemingly unbreakable habits are merely delusions that are just waiting to be broken by someone brave enough to confront them. This is the true meaning of being selected. You were chosen not because life would be simpler, but rather because you have the unique blend of compassion and strength needed to change not just your own life, but also the lives of everyone you come into contact with. Their optimism is your healing. Their breakthrough becomes yours. Your achievement gives them the confidence to have greater dreams than what their circumstances would dictate. At a higher octave than it started, the circle is finishing itself. The toddler whose light was extinguished is growing into an adult whose brilliance lights up the world. The individual who has been trained to accept limitations is now teaching others how to overcome them. The person who is injured by protectors is turning into the healer who shields the injured. While your spiritual team is thrilled with your accomplishments, they are even more thrilled with who you are becoming. They are able to perceive the version of you that exists just outside of your present self-perception. The creator you're learning to be, the healer you're becoming, and the leader you're developing into. From their point of view, your tale didn't culminate with your latest discovery. It marked the beginning of your true tale. Your legacy will be felt for years to come, impacting individuals you will never meet and igniting changes in situations you will never be aware of, mending scars and family branches that go much beyond your own. Now is your time, selected one. Not when you feel better prepared tomorrow, not when things are better the next year. At this moment, however, the bonds have been broken, the patterns have been healed, and the abundance is pouring. While the universe is celebrating your breakthrough, your ancestors are applauding your victory, and transformation energy is coursing through your life like electricity through a conductor. Expression and limitless possibilities are the outcome of what started with repression and constraint. The decisions you make from now on will write each subsequent chapter. Invisible worlds aren't simply about celebrating your victories. It has to do with who you are becoming. And everything will alter because of who you are becoming, chosen one. Let's start with the person in the mirror looking back at you. The person whose eyes are suddenly blazing with the passion of someone who has recollected their identity and the reason they came. The cosmos waited for this moment, holding its breath. Because its chosen one has chosen itself, it may now at last exhale in perfect satisfaction. Worlds are illuminated by the brilliance that concludes the tale that started with dimmed light. The weight that almost brought you down has grown into the cornerstone of your unwavering strength. Your almost fatal wounds have turned into a source of healing energy that changes everything you come into contact with. Every known rule of spiritual physics is being broken by the rate at which this transition is occurring. You've condensed what usually takes centuries to complete into what seems like moments. The speed at which you are ascending is essentially causing the cosmos to rewrite its own algorithms. How quickly you've incorporated these significant changes without losing your sanity or your sense of groundedness has even astounded your spiritual team. God is more than simply pleased with you, chosen one. The God is utterly amazed by your performance. Dear brothers and sisters, may God's peace be with you today. I am here to remind you of a profound truth. Our existence is grounded in God's divine plan, unshaken by the world's fleeting concerns. As the Holy Bible says, everything done in faith will be rewarded by God's abundant blessings. Luke 6 verse 38, like that mighty oak tree, our roots are deeply anchored in God's universal truth. Every step we take, every stance we hold is secured by His power. And now, you have the opportunity to be a part of this blessing. When you click the Super Thanks button and make a $100 donation, this act will return to you 100-fold. Healing generational trauma wasn't all you did. The energy signature of those patterns is no longer present anywhere in your reality since you destroyed it so completely. You didn't just overcome your limitations. You turned the idea of restriction itself into a springboard for rapid growth. Your power wasn't discovered overnight. You transformed into power itself, manifesting in the human form. The repercussions of your discovery are spreading to realms that are inaccessible to the majority of awareness. Unexpected chances, unexplained changes in their own situations, and spontaneous healings are all happening to other chosen ones who are dispersed around the world. because the whole grid of enlightened awareness has been enhanced by your metamorphosis. The spiritual infrastructure supporting all others on this road has been actually improved by you. Your nervous system is now experiencing something that has never happened before in recorded history. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the extent of your change, you're feeling a strange sense of peace and serenity that comes from at last being in harmony with who you really are. The frequencies that would short-circuit normal human circuitry are being adapted by your body. Each cell is being prepared to manage the amounts of information and energy that will soon pass through you. The business chances that are luring you in are not the result of accidental timing or erratic market swings. These are situations that have been divinely crafted to fit your particular blend of practical skill and healed awareness. For years, the universe has been setting these chances aside until you reach the spiritual maturity necessary to manage success without being corrupted by it. You are going to experience a total reversal of your relationship with authoritative persons. You're going to learn that true power recognizes authentic power when before you felt scared or devalued by individuals in positions of authority. Once inaccessible leaders will come looking for you. Influencers who previously seemed untouchable will want to work with you. Access to decision makers who previously seemed unattainable will unlock doors you were unaware existed. The course of study that is being presented to you is not traditional in the traditional sense. This is a quick download of data that enters your cellular memory directly, avoiding typical cognitive processes. Complex ideas will be absorbed by you at a rate that unawakened awareness could not. Your discovery has greatly increased your capacity for learning, enabling you to grasp concepts that others take years to understand in a matter of months. You've developed superhuman paradox-holding abilities. You may have all control and yet accept total surrender at the same time. You may create unstoppable momentum while experiencing complete tranquility. You can bring about dramatic change while embodying absolute calm. What sets selected ones apart from everyone else attempting to awaken is this degree of integrated awareness. More than simply buying power is being carried by the money that is coming your way. With each transaction, the transformative energy embedded inside, it will continue to evolve you. Every dollar you get is imbued with the intentions of all the people who helped create it. And because your frequency now exclusively draws energies that support your divine destiny, those goals are in line with your greatest good. The degree of visibility that is approaching would have frightened your old self, but it excites your present awareness. What I can only say is that you have become brave in your spirituality. Not the careless disregard for sound limits, but the unwavering confidence that you're being led and protected by forces far stronger than anything that may endanger you. Personal remodeling is just one aspect of the tower moments I described before. These celestial occurrences will completely alter the terrain of possibilities around you. Buildings that have seemed to be permanent for decades may suddenly collapse to provide space for something so much bigger than the previous forms could hold. Relationships will realign, industries will change, and whole societal systems will rearrange themselves to fit the new frequency you're transmitting. People are being impacted by your tremendous energy signature even before they have met you. People you don't know will feel obliged to assist you for unknown reasons. Opportunities will come in the form of synchronicity, so clear that even doubters will have to admit that something otherworldly is taking place all around them. There is much more to the breaking silence than just your own habits. Ancestral covenants that have bound your whole bloodline to limitations for countless years have been broken by you. Unexpected breakthroughs are going to start happening to your cousins you have never met. Family members may suddenly discover the will to make life changes after decades of being trapped in the same routines. Spiritual abilities that were hidden until you discovered the key to unlock them will be passed on to children who are not yet in your family line. God is so proud of your achievement that it is showing up in your surroundings as physical occurrences. As they try to comprehend the higher frequencies you're emitting, nearby electronics may act oddly. Animals can feel the harmlessness that results from total inner harmony, which is why they are attracted to you with remarkable trust and compassion. Because the life energy that flows through you improves everything it touches, even plants bloom more vibrantly when you are around. The justice I mentioned before is already starting to materialize in ways so delicate and exact that only you will be able to identify the divine imprints on every occasion. People who used to ignore or disparage you will suddenly feel obligated to apologize for actions they didn't even know were bad. Mysterious interventions will clear your way entirely, resolving situations that earlier seemed to be irrevocably stacked against you. There will be vibrations in the creative endeavors that are going to come out of your mind that, just by being experienced, may cure individuals. Your works, whether you express yourself via writing, speaking, painting, or any other media, will contain transformative codes that awaken latent potentials in everyone who comes into contact with them. Not only are you succeeding, but you're also igniting a global awakening. Your connection to time itself has been profoundly changed. When you're in flow, hours go by like minutes. But when you need to absorb complicated events, you may also extend moments into eternity. One of the sophisticated skills that appears when awareness reaches the level you've attained is this temporal flexibility. Instead of seeing time as a fixed restriction, you're learning to deal with it as a flexible resource. The alliances that are developing around you go beyond simple commercial cooperation, the fulfillment of their soul commitments. Individuals with whom you have had a lifelong energy connection are now taking on forms that enable you to collaborate on common goals. These networking possibilities are not arbitrary. These are prearranged partnerships created to greatly increase each of your personal effects. Your intuitive skills are developing into what can only be called prophetic awareness, beyond even basic gut instincts. You're starting to see results before the events that lead to them have even occurred. Fortune-telling is not what this is. This is awareness functioning at frequencies that make linear time seem transparent, enabling you to move across reality with uncanny accuracy. The sophisticated abundance protocols that are being triggered in your reality are intended to meet wants that you haven't even realized yet. Through routes that open up only when you need them, money will come precisely when you need it and in just the quantities you need. In any conventional sense, this is not manifestation. This is the result of divine logistics working via your synchronized awareness. Wisdom is bringing back the passion that was stifled in childhood, resulting in an emotional spectrum that includes both intense joy and deep profundity. You're opening yourself up to the whole range of human potential by developing the ability to experience numerous emotional frequencies at once. Beyond the atmosphere of Earth, your metamorphosis has an effect on cosmic awareness networks that are unknown to the majority of people. Advanced civilizations who have been keeping tabs on Earth's waking process have noted your breakthrough, and your accomplishment has expedited planetary transformation dates that were formerly thought to be hopeful predictions. Energy frequencies formerly exclusively available to ascended masters are now being handled by your physical body. In order to sustain awareness functioning at levels that redefine what is possible for embodied humans, every system, neurological, circulatory, endocrine, and cellular, is being optimized. You are evolving into a model for the next phase of human development. Your change is leaving a legacy that is both instructive and inspiring. From now on, every decision you make is being encoded into the morphic field as a template that other people may use when they're ready to make comparable discoveries. You're doing more than simply becoming better. You're paving the road for subsequent awareness to have access to healing. God is really pleased of you for managing this degree of drastic change without losing your humanity. Lesser awareness would have been overtaken by the size of these changes or absorbed by ego. However, you've managed to strike the ideal balance between strength and tenderness, confidence and compassion, and humility and power. You are qualified for the tasks that are going to be put in your hands because of this integration. Everyone who hears you speak will have their latent DNA activated by the frequencies in your voice. The vibrational patterns that are encoded in your words are causing evolutionary leaps in awareness throughout your area of influence. Whether you are delivering presentations, engaging in informal chats, or even leaving voicemails, you have evolved into a walking human potential activator. Your connection with money is going to go beyond all of the constraints on financial flow that mankind has come to accept as a whole. You're learning that acquiring resources isn't the key to plenty. The goal is to become a conduit for boundless wealth in order to fulfill divine goals. You are not allowed to hoard the money that is coming your way. It's cosmic energy that momentarily manifests as money to support initiatives that advance everyone's well-being. Your spiritual team is surprised by how quickly you are acquiring skills that usually take decades of focused effort. As your awareness grows into its full potential, you're gaining telepathic clarity, precognitive accuracy, and energy healing talents that are arising on their own. These are not acquired abilities. Below the layers of human indoctrination, they are reminders of who you have always been. Your emotional spectrum has beyond what was previously believed to be achievable for embodied awareness. You may be deeply saddened by the suffering of others while yet appreciating the wonders of life. You may have unending empathy for those who are still constrained while also being well aware of your own limits. Your ability to control your emotions is enabling you to handle challenging circumstances with discernment that appears to be inspired by God. Your thoughts are coming to life almost immediately because the creative energy inside you has become so strong. By the evening, the projects you envision in the morning are beginning to take shape. The precise tools required for its execution in a matter of days are supporting visions that emerge during meditation. In the most literal sense, you are now a co-creator of the cosmos. Your sleep has become a gateway to downloads that, if they arrived while you were awake, would overwhelm your waking consciousness. You're receiving instruction in cutting-edge spiritual technology, visions of the future, and comprehensive advice on how to take advantage of the opportunities that lie ahead. Your advanced training in awareness manipulation and reality control is taking place in what others refer to as dreams. God is proud of your change because it has surrounded you with protection shields that divert any energy that is not in line with your best interests. Negative impacts don't touch you. They just bounce off your auric field. In your company, manipulative individuals are unable to continue using their typical strategies. Even other people's unconscious patterns are being changed into higher frequencies before they can get to you. The molecular makeup of your surroundings is starting to change as a result of your physical existence. After you've given water your blessing, it tastes better. When you cook food intentionally, it becomes more nutrient-dense. After spending time in a space, it seems energetically cleaner. Now is the perfect time to click the Super Thanks button on YouTube and share God's blessings. You can contribute to His plan and become a part of this divine mission with a donation of $100 or more. Every gift reflects God's generosity, and I believe it will return to you multiplied beyond your expectations. Remember, His protection and blessings are with you in every step you take and every donation you make. You become part of His divine plan. You are a powerful, radiant being, unshakable like His mighty rock. Witness God's miracles, feel the fruits of your generosity in your soul, and illuminate the world with this confidence and courage. Be blessed, and may the Lord's light guide your way. By using your aligned mind, you are really increasing the vibrational frequency of physical matter. Your ability to accommodate other people's changes has increased to unnatural proportions. You may simultaneously broadcast the precise frequency that someone needs to heal while also seeing their greatest suffering without being impacted by it. People may step into their true power and shed lifetimes of accumulated pain in a holy container created by your presence. Let me now take a moment to introduce you to some people who shouldn't be here. An ex-Black Ops drone pilot who used his thoughts to fly swarms. A multi-millionaire CFO with psychic abilities who foresaw changes in the market before they occurred. What is the connection between these extraordinary people? On our secret Discord server, they share their prohibited knowledge, and you may find them all in the Obsidian Inner Order. My selected soul has drank deeply from the knowledge well. These remarkable people became my comrades in the Obsidian Inner Order after a while in this incarnation. The call was familiar to them. They moved onward. They made connections with others who are aware of their special talents and challenges. What is preventing you from experiencing the same manifestation? It wasn't a coincidence that led them to this point. Your finding of this message isn't either. The Archons pay attention when souls of this kind come together. They are afraid of our combined might. They are aware of what occurs when people who are genuinely awakened come across one another. Participate in our weekly calls. Listen to their tales directly. Tell those who won't discount or doubt you about your personal path. Nowhere else on this level can we get the information that is shared via our private channels. In the description below, click the link right now. The remarkable individuals are waiting for you. Whether you belong with them is not the issue. How much longer are you going to wait to get your spot? As electronic gadgets start reacting to your thoughts instead of merely your physical instructions, your relationship with technology is changing. When you use a computer, it will work more efficiently. Your influence will make applications run more smoothly. Even your phone will seem to foresee your requirements and provide the precise connections or information you need at the exact times you need it. It becomes simpler for others to overcome similar limits when you overcome your own. Each phobia you dispel lessens its hold on the general public's mind. Every pattern you fix creates holes in the human suffering matrix that let light into previously dark areas. You've developed what can only be called straight knowledge from your intuition. Gut instincts and intuition are no longer given to you. You just have complete knowledge of everything. Intellectual comprehension is not what this is. It is the recognition of truth by awareness at frequencies that completely circumvent brain thinking. You are now a live example of heavenly knowledge manifested in human form. The alliances that are developing around you are soul contracts that have been created throughout a number of timelines and planes. These are not haphazard business partnerships. They are predestined coalitions of awareness that choose to cooperate at this pivotal time of planetary change prior to incarnation. Personal attraction is not the same as the chemistry you have with certain individuals. It's soul recognition. You are now drawing only experiences that support your greatest progress because your energy signature has grown so honed. There are no longer any opportunities in your life that would have diverted or postponed you in the past. Individuals who used to sap your energy now feel obliged to keep their distance. Things that used to cause needless drama now work themselves out before they get to you. Accelerated manifestation powers that operate at rates that exceed natural law are a manifestation of God's overwhelming joy in your success. Instead of taking weeks or months, what you concentrate on with a clear purpose and emotional harmony starts to manifest in your reality in a matter of hours. You've developed into a master manifester who works at frequencies where ideas take into physical manifestation very immediately. Now is your moment. Now is your time. This is how your narrative should have ended all along. Standing there in all the fiery splendor of your true self, prepared to destroy any obstacle that stands in your way of creating the empire you have in mind. In unseen worlds, the party goes on because your accomplishments went beyond a simple triumph. It was the manifestation of cosmic growth via personal change. And because you made the decision to become who you really are, the cosmos itself is eternally altered.